What's going on, guys? Middle of the day stream. Finally, a Euro time zone compatible stream. Incredible. Admiral Wonderboat, that's a celebrity sighting in the chat. Dawn of Brand, that's kind of a celebrity sighting too. Where you been, big guy? How are you guys all doing? I know this is like a little bit of an impromptu stream, but the truth is, I completely forgot to go live yesterday, last night. And this is a really busy week for me. I have some family in town. My brother's in town, so I'm chilling with him here and there. This one is so impromptu. I decided I am going to record it for the VOD, but I don't have anything crazy planned. But I figured, you know what, I should record it because what if something really wacky happens? So I'd rather have it recorded than not. So I guess we are going to do a full, thing. But anyway, I feel terrible that I didn't stream last night on my usual schedule. I always feel terrible when I miss them. Oh, first time chatter. Hi, Skizzers. How you doing? I always feel bad about it. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm literally like just totally absent-minded. I was in bed last night. I mean, yesterday during the day, I was it was my brother's first day in town, so I was hanging out with him and one of my other buddies, and then came back home, and I was lying in bed, and I swear it's like my eyes shot open at like 1 a.m., and I was like, I completely forgot to stream. And I was like, damn. But I was like, okay, I might be able to fit one into my schedule tomorrow, which is today, and that's what we're doing right now. This evening, I probably will have plans with my family and stuff, so I figured, why not? I'm sitting here, I got up, I did the dishes, I had to do the dishes, I worked out, I drew a comic, and, I got the rest of my days a little bit busy, so I just figured, why don't I just fit, like an hour or two in for you guys. Can anyone tell me the significance of the two flags that I picked here? Somebody who follows me on Instagram will probably know. I think I feel like my Twitter followers are going to be looking at this and they're just like, what? Why these two? Why these two? But my Instagram followers will probably know why these two countries were significant. The flags are very happy. This drawing style was inspired by NBA Paint. Okay, the story is that the angry guy who got mad in Italian. Yes, that's true. I don't know what that was about, and I actually, I don't feel bad, but like I blocked out his name, so it doesn't matter. But I was like, I really think he had me mistaken for somebody, or I really do feel like it was an error because I don't know what he was like. I don't know what he was mad about, unless he was like a Michael Jackson stan, or what was the other one? The one that I had posted yesterday was the like Black Mirror phone bad society one, which I don't really see why someone would get mad at that. Like, that seems like a weird one. I don't know. I was like, I saw that message and I was like, I literally had, and I was like, dude, it's next level hating that it's like, I know this guy doesn't even understand Italian. I don't even give a shit. I don't care if he doesn't even understand me. I just gotta vent it out. Like, he just was like texting crazy shit at me in Italian. I was like, I don't know what this is about, but then he seemed to apologize in the last two messages. He was like, sorry, I overreacted. But I was like, overreacted to what? Like, what would even if you overreacted, let's say you regular reacted, what did I do that would have merited any of this response? But that's how I feel about any time that I get a negative message. I'm like, there are MJ fans internationally, dude, watch your back. I mean, dude, that's the other funny part is that I am like a Michael Jackson fan. I listen to his music like a lot. It's really weird to me that there are so many like stands out there that just like are really really pissed at any like insinuation that Michael Jackson like did those things, like was involved in, the not so cool things that he did with kids. And like, I watched the freaking HBO documentary back when it came out, and actually up until that point, dude, am I talking about Michael Jackson on stream? I guess I am. up until that point, I actually did maintain that Michael Jackson was. I thought he was innocent because he was made a target by the media for a really long time. But I think both things can be true, and regardless of the truth is, regardless of whether or not you believed he actually did anything that was illegal, the things that we do know, the things that Michael Jackson said he did, that he was like sleeping in bed with kids that were not his own, like even if you maintain that nothing happened, that is over the line. That's inappropriate. That is still negatively affecting those children's minds because they will have a skewed view of what is appropriate conduct from an adult. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. All the other stuff, I mean, whether or not you believe that he actually did it, I don't really care. But I thought the comic was funny, and it did get a good response. Like a lot of people responded positively, but I knew when I posted it that there was going to be a camp of people that were upset. The funny part is that on Twitter, I posted that Michael Jackson, that freaking video is so funny. I just coincidentally found it like a week ago, and I was so glad that I had a reason to use it. Where somebody's holding Michael Jackson at gunpoint on stage, and he just puts out his skinny little hand, and he's like, and the music, and he's like bringing the gun down, and the guy just like takes off his helmet, and it's like so dramatic. But I posted that as a message to the Michael stands, and I was like, please do not come at me with all your firepower. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. And I'm not even lying. I think that me posting that was effective because I didn't get anything like. Obviously, I had people that were like, "Oh, he didn't do it. I don't like what this comic is insinuating." But I didn't have anybody get really mad, and I think that it was in part because of that video of Michael Jackson, like, lulled them a bit. Anyway, I have no idea if that Italian guy that was mad at me on Instagram, if that was in regards to the Michael Jackson thing. He was mad about I have no idea what. Really strange. And I got a lot of messages from people in response to me posting that were translating it for me. So I'm very aware of what the guy was saying, but I really don't understand why. And then Singapore is the other one. Somebody else was like Italy and Singapore. Yeah, Cronius. Italy and Singapore. Singapore is on there because I just got, it was my third ever print order to an Asian country. Yeah, I think they just want to be starting something. I'm always down for a Michael Jackson pun. I got a lot of good Michael Jackson puns on that comic in the comment section. And then oh my god, I try to like a lot of people's responses on Instagram and Twitter. Like whenever people respond, I'll drop it a like because I love when people engage with my stuff, but I literally cannot keep up with how many people have commented usually on the squirrel comic the cool squirrel comic that I just posted. I was trying to like all of them, and I was like, I literally can't even follow. Singapore, I just got my third ever order to an Asian country, and it was Singapore. So I've mailed one to India. I've mailed one. That was the first time I mailed to Asia. And let me just say, that was the longest freaking address it was like comically long. It was like 7 lines of text. It was like the person's name, which not to stereotype, but it was very long. It was like very long Indian name. And then like, it was like their street address and then block this, building this, flat this, room this, like notify this person, and then like the zip code or whatever, India. And I was like, dude, I literally was looking at this thing and I was like, this is an insane, like 7 or 8 lines to this address. And I put it in the mail and I'm like, I don't know if this is ever going to reach this person, but that was months ago. I never heard from them, so I'm assuming that it arrived. So I got one to India. Like a month or so ago, I got an order to South Korea, which was really exciting too. Anytime that it's the first time I'm mailing to a new country, it's very exciting. And then I got this order to somebody named Marcus, who lived in Singapore, and I just mailed that one out yesterday, and that was exciting. And that usually when I get an order to like a new country, like somewhere that I know that I've never mailed before, especially somewhere as far away, like in Asia, like literally other side of the planet, I will use. Sorry, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I usually include like I put an extra little like sticker in there for them, and like I think I wrote them a little note like, "Hey, thank you so much," just because like not to play favorites or anything, but it's like it's nice. Oh. Ducky MTG just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate it. They subscribe with Prime Gaming. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's awesome. What was I gonna say? What was I saying? So anyway, shout out Marcus from Singapore. You know what? Shout out to this Italian guy. I really don't know what the story is. But, let me turn my volume down here. Anyway, yeah, so I shout out to the Italian guy. I don't know what happened with him either, but I hope he's, I hope he finds peace. I hope he's okay. I was trying to think of what we were going to draw today, and I don't really have anything planned. I know that it's a drawing class. I have two options, because something popped into my head right when I opened this stream. And then I had another idea. Or no, this was the only idea, really. Okay, here are the two concepts, though. Okay, one, we could do a draw along, like a class, like what I would traditionally do, and I'll have you guys we'll do like a call out, like you guys will suggest. I need two keywords. I'll have somebody do one keyword, and I'll have somebody do another keyword. We'll find an idea in the middle, and then we'll draw that. Okay, that's one idea. So I'll probably be like, shout out an animal. And then I'll be like, okay, shout out an activity. And then I'll draw the animal doing that activity. That's one option, just to be like random and get you guys involved. Or if you would be excited to see this, the other option, because I keep saying that I'm going to make a new one of these, is you guys could watch me as I make a new Beetle Commandments. What do you call this? Scripture. Because this is the one that I literally drew on the first day of my stream. It kind of looks bad. And it needs an update. I wouldn't mind doing a new one if you guys wanted to be there for the update. And you can shout out suggestions about what you'd like to see on it. The text will remain the same. Should I do new commandments? Would you rather watch me do that live on stream? Draw along or watch you write a sign. That's a tough one. Annie does not seem excited about this idea. Donna Brand says new commandments. Danny DeVito. Should I flip a coin? If you could make the second idea into a draw together, that would be nice. Otherwise, I prefer the first idea. I'm not sure how could I vote first idea. All right, let's do first idea. I will draw one of the. I will draw a new one. Maybe I will put it on stream, but for the sake of the class, and I know because some of you guys were doing it at like a Euro-friendly time, I don't want you guys to feel cheated out of the class. So we'll do a class today, and then I still just need to. The only reason I even considered doing this one on stream is because I was like, damn it, I keep forgetting to draw a new one, and it really is time. I'm tired of looking at this one. I'm not tired of looking at the guy, but it's just like I know I could draw this better. A class for what, may I ask? Great question, first time chatter. Cozy VT. This is not just a stream, it is a draw along. It's a class that I'm basically gonna show you guys how to draw something. So we're gonna decide together today what we're gonna be drawing, okay? And then I'm going to draw it slowly so you guys can follow along with me. So if you decide to, which I would love if you guys did, you can watch, of course, but what I would prefer you did is pick up just a pen. I try to keep it as simple as possible, so if you're at any skill level of drawing, you will absolutely be able to follow along, and all you need, the only materials, even though I'm drawing digitally, you just need a pen and a piece of paper. That's it. All right? So that's what we do. That's what I do on all of these streams, basically. And I'd love if you followed along. Oh, look at that! Natty the Panda. Beetle Commandments needs more Beetle facts. Daily Beetle fact. Madicacia rothschildi, aka Rothschild's jewel beetle, is a large beetle that seems to be rather common even with the disappearance of much of the native forest in Madagascar. Adults of Madicacia have eye spots on their pronotum, giving an overall appearance similar to the thorax of click beetles in the genus Elaeus. Although this remains to be tested, the two large eye spots are presumed to have evolved as anti-predator adaptations. Okay, I will rinky dinky do that. Thanks, and you got it. I'm really excited for you to follow along. Okay, let's look up this. What was it? Rothschild's jewel beetle. That seems slightly racist. Let's see. Oh, look at that. A living jewel Madagascar. Whoa, what the fuck is going on here? Internet seems to be acting a little goofy today. Don't love that. Let's see. Images here. Oh, wow. That's a really cool bug. You know, when I was a lot younger, I mean, I still love bugs, but back when I was really young, I used to really love bugs. And, like, this is the type of bug that I could see myself having, like, a poster of in my room. Whoa! Dawn of Brand just subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 5 months, currently on a 4-month streak. That is freaking awesome. Thank you so much, Dawn of Brand. I'm really happy to have you here. Celebrity in the Beetle Moses and Friends Discord. If you guys are not already a part of that, I'm about to name drop that. But I want to give Natty their clout here. So this is a sick bug. See the eye spots right here. Looks really cool. But it's cool. These are the actual eyes. But these are the eye spots. Really cool. Really does look like a jewel. Oh wow! Look at that front view. Oh, what happened? Crazy front view on the thing. Love bugs. You know, I had this idea cooking right now. Well, there's a few things going on behind the scenes actually. I don't really love talking about things while before they're done or before they're like underway. I don't like announcing things before anything has like actually come to fruition. Watching this in 360p as you stare at the camera is too good. I don't love talking about things before they actually happen. But I have a few like possible business things happening in the background, which is pretty exciting. So I hope to have some news on some of that in the near future. I think some cool stuff. So anyway, one of those things which I will share is that I've started to write my next long comic piece, which is going to take place in a bug world, basically, because I think there's some really good media that does exist that takes place in the bug world, and obviously like the two really popular ones are going to be like Bug's Life and the movie Ants and stuff, but I would really love to I love drawing bugs, and I have a lot of comics that feature them, and like especially in this sort of anthropomorphic style. And I have this idea that I'm like cooking, that I've started writing, that I kind of want to start making into like another long form piece. And especially recently I've been watching, I just showed my girlfriend Mob Psycho 100, and watching that, and I was obsessed with Mob Psycho when I first watched it, and then also it put like I got the what do you call it? The manga. Like I bought the books for it. And I think the guy who writes that one and One Punch Man is a freaking genius. And I know that but both One Punch Man and Mob Psycho started as webcomics. Like that he was basically self-publishing. One Punch Man definitely. Mob Psycho, he probably had some backing at that point because One Punch Man was such a successful property. But I don't know for sure. But One Punch Man started literally just as like him uploading them as like an ongoing webcomic series, and so I love the idea of doing that. I also just like, I'm spending so much time drawing comics, and it's been great like building an audience for that. And what I'm really trying to hit is that it sounds so arbitrary, but I am just trying to hit that sweet, sweet 100K on some social media platform. For the love of God, please. I am like right there on Twitter. I'm right there on Instagram, and feel like I get like right at the buzzer. I get kneecapped by the social media platform that like something happens. I was shadow banned on Instagram. Twitter is just being run into the dirt, and it just feels like I'm like, when will this happen? But I think so that's also why I'm just continuing to like, pump out the regular. My dog is going nuts out there right now. I'm trying to pump out the regular like comics, to just kind of like keep gaining that following, because I just can taste that like 100K right there. But I think once I hit that as like a goal, I might just switch over to a less frequent, short daily comic. Basically, I'm basically doing them daily, and I might switch that over to really putting my time into like a longer piece, because I finished Druzy, as you guys know. So a lot of you guys have read Druzy. Really happy with how that one came out. That was a huge milestone. It feels amazing to have it under my belt, and the response that I've gotten in terms of just people who have read it, I've just had like, and I'm so blessed. I mean, like seriously, how else can I put it? Like the people who have read it have just been so nice and supportive and cool, and everybody said that they really liked it, and I'm shopping that around because I'd love to get that one in print. But while I still have Druzy up there, which if you have not read it, if you'd love to take a look at like literally the longest I've ever worked on a project, it's available on my web store there, and which I think is in my bio on Twitch. It's in my bio on Twitter, Instagram. It's like my pinned thing on everything. So if you wanted to check out Druzy, it was really hard work, but it was really exciting to get that done. And while I'm shopping it around to see if I can get a publisher behind that one, I figure why not? Like, I have more ideas. Like, I still want to keep making stuff. So, but Druzy doesn't have any dialogue, which was sort of a challenge that I put to myself because I really wanted it to be like strong visually. And this piece that I'd be working on would have a lot more dialogue. And dude, let me tell you guys something else sorry, I know we're going to get to the class in a second, but while I'm ranting and raving, this is old news, but holy crap, I just freaking read the Sin City, it's The Hard Goodbye by Frank Miller, like that comic. Has anybody read that? Has anyone read Sin City? Holy freaking crap, what an incredible graphic novel. I loved the style. I mean, dude, it was amazing. Like, I mean, it was absolutely insane. So, I when I read that one, basically I watched the movie because I had never seen it, and I watched it and I was like, that was cool. It's not a bad movie. I was like, that was cool. Like, I enjoyed it. It's very stylized, and you can tell in the movie that they stylized it really heavily because the comics are stylized. And I love heavily stylized art and comics because, no shade to like other webcomic artists, myself included. It's just the way that webcomics works is like you're encouraged as a webcomic artist, everyone is, to make your style as cleanly legible and simple as possible. There are obviously a lot of exceptions to this rule, and there's a ton of what's up, first time chatters? Stacera, what up? Curb verified, what's going on? Did you only watch the first movie? Yes, I only watched the first movie. But anyway, I think what's so cool about long form comics, and especially, dude, I mean, Frank Miller, I've heard that he's a little bit like questionable as a person, or he said some kind of wacky shit recently, but the style that he draws in is just like so I'm like, dude, I wish I had it like this. And a little peek behind the curtain, before I started Beetle Moses, I really was not a huge comic nerd. Like, I love art. I love looking at other people's drawings. Like, I've been following artists that I love for a really long time. And I have read some comics, but I would never in a million years describe myself as, like, a comic nerd. And it wasn't until I started Beetle Moses that I, like, felt like I wanted to explore other artists in the medium. But, uh, uh, what I love is movies, you know what I mean? I think if I had to freaking self-diagnose or like critique my own work, I think that there is a lot of like influence from when I'm drawing things, I picture them the way they would look if they were on film, basically. So a lot of the stylistic choices that I use, the shots that I choose are following rules that belong to film. Some of them are subconscious, but some of them are really effective, I think, in creating space. Especially in particular, a lot of you guys might notice that I use a lot like the over the shoulder shots in my even though like a character may not be talking and they're not the subject of something, I usually will include them like from the back in the panel because I think it's well, one, I think it's funny. I think like actually looking at the back of somebody's head makes you imagine what their expression might be, which actually can be used to comedic effect. But also, I think it just adds a dimensionality, if that's a word, to the piece. So again, because webcomics really encourages you to like draw things that are really simple and easy to understand. I think actually it should be encouraged. And a lot of comic artists that I think, webcomic artists that find success are ones that are breaking some of the unspoken rules of webcomics by doing things a little bit out of the ordinary. That kind of sounds like I'm kissing my own ass a little bit, but I do think that like there's a lot of room to do like new fresh things. I heard a little ah-ha-ha, but I didn't see anything. Did anybody else hear that weird ah-ha-ha? Hi, can I use your stream as background noise? Yeah, absolutely. We're going to start drawing in a second. Anyway, all this is to say, now that I've started actually exploring more comics and like reading things, that are long form, somebody like Frank Miller, Curb Verified, says Frank Miller kind of just went insane after 9/11, and that isn't a joke at all. Look up Holy War, I think, started as a Batman comic about Batman killing the Taliban. That's outrageous. I've never heard of that, but I have to look that up. The extremely delayed ah-ha-ha jump scare. I was like, what the fuck is that? Anyway, Frank Miller and a lot of other comic artists, it's great to look at comics like that because I get so used to trying to draw things in the way that I'm comfortable with, which don't really look like traditional comics, but look a lot more like almost like storyboards a little bit. Like I kind of am like watching drawing my comics like I'm watching a movie sort of. And I think by reading something like Sin City, which it's easy to follow. Like the story is very simple and easy to follow, and it's not super dialogue heavy, although it is like dramatic in its dialogue. He makes such good use stylistically of the comic style, like creating shots, creating images that are pieces of art that simply, and unfortunately, as I believe the movie sort of indicates, do not properly translate onto a screen because it's a different medium, which I think is genius. The same way that like music is a different medium from movies, or visual art is a different medium from whatever, or cooking is a different type of art, so to speak. Like there's a lot of different styles of like art, and they don't necessarily translate into one another in the same way. And so like anyway, all this is to say, I would really love to work on a long form piece and do it in a way that really embraces the medium of comics, because I'm pretty used to drawing things in a way that is quick and visually like appropriate for viewing on the internet, like viewing in a split second on social media. And I think creating like a more lived-in piece would be a really cool challenge for me. So especially just finishing Sin City and also reading Mob Psycho and some other stuff. Like I'm encouraged to try some new stuff. And you guys, viewers at home, I encourage you guys to try new stuff too. If you're a visual artist or any type of artist, really, I think it's like nice to. It's important to challenge yourself. Which brings me into my commandments, which have been sitting on the screen for the last hour and a half, but I haven't actually addressed. Let me look through your comments real quick. I know it's not really related or relevant, but Sin City and Watchmen are among my favorites. Yeah, I really like... Watchmen, I actually... Funny enough, I just watched that movie for the first time recently, too, but I did read the comic, and I mean, it's also, like, visually gorgeous. V for Vendetta. I have never... Actually, I've never seen the movie, never read V for Vendetta, but good to know. I will definitely note that. Let's see. Tom King's Mr. Miracle is so goated and used the comics medium super well. You know what? I'm going to write some of these down. I really appreciate the suggestions because a lot of these I have not heard of, and I'm not embarrassed to say it. Tom King's Mr. Miracle. Thank you for the recommendation. Very cool. TMNT Last Run, and that one I have heard of. Hey, Beetle, have you ever read anything... Oh, what's up? Pedro, or Dappermont. Dude, incredible artist. Shout out. We got a celebrity in the chat. Hey, Beetle, have you ever read anything by Akira Toriyama? Especially his pre-Dragon Ball stuff is super funny and inspiring. I have not read that either. It's going on the list right now. I appreciate all of these suggestions. I would honestly, if you guys want to message me any of this stuff too, I am like looking for more comics to read because like Akira Toriyama. I am looking for more comics to read because I actually do think that. Let me put this nicely. Consuming too many webcomics, like I think and I think this is actually the trap that a lot of webcomic artists fall into. Let me preface this by saying I'm an idiot, I'm a moron, I'm stupid, you don't have to listen to me, I don't know what I'm doing, okay? Let me preface it by just saying all that, okay? I'm going to teach you guys how to draw, but all my freaking, like, all this other, mumbo jumbo, you can just completely ignore, okay? Preface. I think a lot of other webcomic artists, there's a lot of other webcomic artists, and I think even people who would admit that this is true, people who I still like and I respect as artists, and I see myself doing it too sometimes, fall into a trap where you're looking at other webcomic artists, and you're influenced by them, and your own work suffers for it. I think sometimes I look at my earlier work. Actually, okay, I will say I'm very proud of my run of work. Like recently, I'm happy with where I am at as an artist. But sometimes I look at the ideas or the style choices that I chose at the very beginning when I was not influenced at all by other webcomic artists. I pretty much was unaware of a lot of the really big names in what First Amendment has been breached. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have said all that stuff. Sometimes I fall into the trap of being like, oh, this is what everybody else is doing, so maybe I should be doing something that's like this too. Maybe, not that my stuff is hard to understand, but sometimes if I choose something that's a little too outsider as far as like a concept or its execution, it doesn't perform well online, which is 100% to be expected, but might resonate with my audience more because it's more unusual or surreal or interesting or whatever, even though it doesn't do numbers the way that something that's more instant, you know what I mean, or a reference to something that people get, some of those things do like crazy numbers, like even, okay, I know I said don't be too hard on yourself. I'm not being too hard on myself, I'm just being slightly self-critical, but like the last time on Twitter that I broke 100,000 likes on a comic was the one that was in response to, it was the, not Miguel O'Hara, it was the freaking Spider-Punk comic that I did, right when everybody was talking about the new Spider-Man movie, which was great. With that comic, if I'm being totally honest, I mean, I phoned it in. Like, I knew that everybody was talking about this movie. I knew that if I drew something about it, it would get attention just because people were talking about the movie. And I felt like, let me just do that. Why, it'd be a layup. I could draw something that is, like, sort of funny and about Spider-Man, and people will like it. And it ended up doing crazy numbers on Twitter because Twitter rewards you for talking about things that are current events or what's on the current, like, zeitgeist right now. I don't think that's one of, like, my best comics. I don't even think it's in my top 100 of my favorite of my own comics. You know what I mean? How do you merit your own? How do I weigh my own opinion of my own work? Do I just look at the social media numbers? Sometimes more than I should, if I'm being honest. But I know in my heart, I know which ones I'm proud of and which ones I think I'm really happy about the execution. And sometimes when the universe works as it should, it meets in the middle. I put a lot of, like, it's not even about effort, right, guys? It's about, this sounds so corny, but just please bear with me. It is about soul. It's not about effort, because there's a lot of low effort things that are really good. It's not about effort. It's about soul. It's about being honest. And there's a lot of work that I've created that I believe is really honest, or is just, I was in my bag. You know what I mean? Like, I just knew, I was like, oh, I had this idea, I visualized it perfectly. Like, I knew what it looked like in my head, I drew it, and it looked exactly how it looked in my head, and I felt like it was unique, and I was really like, I think this is funny. And I think that if I told this to my close friends and family, they would think it's funny. So let me put this online. Do those always meet in the middle, right? Does my audience always agree with it? Sometimes, sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes I do something that I'm like, this is really soulful, and I'm not phoning it in at all. Soul, feet. And it does not get the response that I want. You know what I mean? Sometimes they don't do great by my personal standards. I'm trying to think of a recent example. Oh, a recent example was this one didn't do bad. All right, that's like it did totally fine. But I did the one of the spoof of Radiohead's "Creep," where he's like, "But I'm a gleep," and that was an idea that popped into my head literally at like 2 a.m. I wrote it in my notes. I literally just wrote. I swear to God, I'll show you guys. I literally just wrote. At 2 a.m., I like woke up and wrote, where the hell is this? Oh yeah. I literally wrote, "But I'm a gleep." That's it in my notes. And I knew that I knew I would remember it when I woke up. So I woke up the next morning and I drew it immediately. And then I'm really happy with how it came out. The way that I visualized it in my head and the stylistic choices that I wanted to make when I was drawing it, I'm very proud of myself of how it translated to it. But it's not one of my higher performing pieces, right? It's not, a lot of my friends or peers responded positively to it, but it didn't have like crazy reach. It didn't go like super viral. But that's fine. That's fine. I would have loved for it to go viral because when I finished it, if I'm looking at it and it makes me laugh, then I know it's good. I know it's funny. Because that's what matters, is that I know that it's funny. I think that it's funny. It's fulfilling to me that way. I would have loved for it to go like, oh my God, Beetle Moses just broke the internet with this thing, but it just didn't happen. It didn't play out that way. But I still got a nice response from it, and because I'm very lucky that I have a very, like you guys who are all here, I have an audience that's very engaged. You guys in general are just, I can always rely, and especially I feel like I have like a good like 30 or 40 people that I can like almost always count on to comment something, say, you know what I mean, like share, engage, message me, You know what I mean? Even that might be lowballing it, but it's like, that's, dude, like, if you asked me a year ago if I thought it was going to be like that, it blows my mind. You know what I mean? And I think it's kind of, I don't want to say anything out of turn here. Never mind. I won't go there. I won't go there. I lost my train of thought. I was about to get a little bit like shady. That's just not. It's not a tone that I want to set here. The whole point is that, guys, when you're drawing something, try to keep it in your mind that honesty in art is like an overlooked. It's an overlooked part of it, right? I mean, there's people that create things, and I would even argue that, you know, like in music, for example, there's a lot of pop music and radio hits that are churned out every day, but it doesn't inherently make something bad, right? Just because something's popular doesn't mean it's bad. There's a lot of people that are going to be like, man, you like that? It's me. Just because something's popular doesn't mean it's bad. Actually, a lot of popular things are great. That's why they're popular. But the difference is that if it's honest, you know what I mean? If it's honest and if it's unique. The only way that it's going to be unique is if you're as honest as possible with yourself. And I think that, like, art that doesn't last, and art that's really the thing. The art that doesn't last it's not honest. It's people that are phoning it in because they want to engage with a certain style or audience, but it's not true to themselves. People who are really business geniuses can find a way that will make the meet in the middle, but the honesty thing is way more important than trying to please an audience. Have I said enough? Let's just go to these Beetle commandments real quick. Can you just do a Peter Griffin already? You know what really grinds my gears? Hey, Lois. I can't do a Peter Griffin. I can do a Cleveland. Ha ha ha. I'm trying to think. Can I do anybody else? What the deuce? That'll suffice. Okay. These are the Beetle commandments. So everybody if you just stuck through all of my freaking ranting and rambling, these are the Beetle commandments. Okay. Jesus Christ, I've already been talking almost like an hour. Yo, the stream got me bricked up. Yo, Hot Paper in the chat. Celebrity sighting, Hot Paper Comics. So anyway, if you guys have, decided to bear with me through all these shenanigans, all right, we're going to start drawing something, okay? Right before we start drawing, okay? And you guys, I'm going to ask you guys to be engaged because you guys are going to suggest what we're drawing. But hold your horses. Let me just get through these first because it's been on the screen for so long. We are going to be drawing together today. My crooked finger. There are no rules. There's no rules, okay? I have 3 commandments that are important when you're drawing, okay? Not just on the stream, but forever. You should keep these things in mind, along with the advice that I just slipped you. You guys who were just watching for the last 30 minutes, I slipped you some very valuable advice, okay? I don't have all the answers, but there's a few things that I've learned on my journey so far, okay? And if you want to take, I know I've told you guys in the past to look, take unsolicited advice with a grain of salt, and you should do the same with mine. But I'm just saying, I think I gave you some pretty wise advice if you were listening in the last 30 minutes. Okay, can you do a Brooklyn Italian accent? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, I said pepperoni on this fucking pizza, and you put sausage on my pizza. Okay. Number 1, okay, don't be too hard on yourself. All right? So, as I've mentioned just a moment ago, if somebody wants to drop the Discord, if somebody wants to drop the Discord in the chat, all right, all you got to do is tell Nightbot. You just type Discord ! And it's going to give you a free link to the fucking Discord. You get right in there. It's totally free to get in. We got like 200 fucking heads in there. Thank you. Thank you. Where did Beetle go? Who's this guy? So when you get in the fucking Discord and you send... That's why everybody's going to be sending their little cute drawings after this class. Alright? When you send your drawings in the class, I don't want to hear any fucking gabagoo. I don't want to hear... I can't do any... I don't know how to do... this is exhausting. I don't want to hear anything like I can't do any art. I suck at art. This drawing sucks. You know, I suck at art. I suck at life. Sorry, guys. Whatever. Like, no, you know, don't. You're literally not doing anybody any favors, especially not yourself, talking like that. All right? First of all, everybody's drawings have been great, and you'll find if you decide to join that community over there that it's a really active and positive community. I think like there's a lot of people posting their drawings on days off. And if you want constructive feedback, it's there for you if you need it. There's a really good mix of people who are very early, have like just started their artistic journey, and people who have been drawing for a very long time and can give a lot of, you know, advice to you. So if you need feedback, you can say, I'm not super happy with how this one came out. Does anyone have any advice? All right? But in general, I really want you guys to, you're not getting graded on this. You're not getting paid for this, okay? Drawing is fun. It's really fun. That's why I do it. That's why I don't draw for any of this other bullshit, all right? I draw because I fucking like it. What if I do suck? Come on. What am I supposed to say to that? Be real. If you're here, you don't suck, all right? Because you're already part of the family. So anyway, don't be too hard on yourself. Okay, I'm very excited to see your guys' drawings at the end of this. Number 2, go at your own pace. Okay, so I'm going to be drawing, and I'm going to draw really slow, whatever we're working on. But if I go too fast, if I don't explain something right, you know what I mean? Oh, what's up, first time chatter? Mayor of Lucky Boy, Nevada? That's a crazy name. If I go too fast, if I don't explain something right, if you just need more time, clearly you can see I am watching the chat. Just let me know. Don't be shy. Let me know, and I'll go back over it for you. Okay, I'm happy to help. I don't want you guys to fall behind. Don't be embarrassed if you're working at a slower pace. I've been challenging myself recently to work at a slower pace, because sometimes I feel like I'm just like rushing through something, especially when I'm like inking it, because it's kind of, that's the tedious part. Like I've already drawn everything in pencil, and I go over it in ink, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I just want to, like I've started to slow it down, like do think like what's the rush? You know what I mean? I want to take my time. You're not hurting anyone but yourself by going too fast. All right? There's no reason to rush. So go at your own pace. And then number 3, try new things. It's how you get better. This is more of a rule for days off, but you'll find that we might have an idea here because I'm about to take suggestions from the crowd. We might find that we come up with an idea that you don't feel comfortable drawing necessarily. It's outside of your comfort zone. It might be, you know, we're going to pick an animal and an activity, and you may find that it's an animal you've never drawn, or it's an activity you feel like that's going to be difficult, or a combination of both. I would highly encourage you. Those ideas should be the things that you do. Don't be somebody that draws the same thing over and over again, because use it or you lose it. You know what I mean? You got to use your brain. You got to flex those muscles, all right? So especially on your days off, if you have an idea and you're like, I don't know how to draw this, but I think it would look cool, look up a reference. You guys who have watched this stream since the beginning, I've probably said this a freaking million times, but because you guys, some of you are new, I want to tell you guys, if you have an idea, okay, that you don't feel comfortable drawing, look up a reference. Look up a reference. And the first time you draw it, you'll need a reference. I use one all the time. And then when you draw it, it's probably going to be like so-so. You might be like, this didn't exactly come out how I wanted it to. The second time, you'll probably still need a reference, but you're going to be like, wow, that looks a lot tighter. That looks a lot better. And then the third time, you won't even need a reference. It will be in your bag. You'll have the muscle memory. You'll already know how to do it. I guarantee it. But the first step is to draw something new that you've never done before. Okay? Those are the Beetle commandments. One of these days, I'm going to draw a new freaking thing, even though this one is like low-key become iconic. But anyway. Okay. Can't we all just get along? Oh, I found your painting account today. It's dope. Thank you. Path towards becoming elite lies in accepting being a noob along the way. Wise words from Pope Alexander IV. Curb verified says Beetle paints his peak. What do I do if I've already lost it? Lost what? I think you should put the old commandments somewhere in the new ones when you make it. That's a good idea. I'll definitely have the guy in there. I need to get him in there. Thank you for the compliments on the painting account. I mean, I haven't painted in a long time. If I'm being totally honest, all of the paintings that are on there were made before I started Beetle Moses. The comics have consumed me because they're just like it's just like it was a fresh medium for me when it started, and even though it's no longer really fresh, I mean, if I'm being totally honest, I've probably spent like 1,500 hours drawing since I started, if not more. Is your name Moses? No, it's a pseudonym. My name is Harris. Wait, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, I've been drawing a ton, and I really would like to pick up the paintbrush again and work on that. It's just like, it comes in phases. Painting is a lot more, it's more expensive, it's way more time consuming, and the payoff is not really as good because like, I was painting for years and never really found any like traction on social media. I know I just was saying how that doesn't really mean anything, but like, you know, it's like, I will get back. I would like to do painting again because it also would be good for me to try, like what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, just try different like mediums. You know what I mean? Like like, I think it would be. It's always a good learning experience when you're like really trapped in a cycle of creating things in a certain style or medium and then doing something that's totally different. You'll come back to your usual work with a fresh face, basically. So I should do a painting. It's just like, I'm a little busy right now. You know, guys, I got a lot going on. Yeah, I'm busy, which is great. I love being busy, but it means that I don't exactly have time. Painting is a little bit more leisurely because I have to really take my time, and I can't, like, you know, try a different medium, do stand-up. The truth is, guys, I just would never do stand-up. It's just, I'm too, like, I don't know. I can't even say I don't get stage fright because I did theater in high school. But, like, stand-up is just too fucking brutal. I can't do it. I could do it maybe, but I don't know. There's something about it. I think, like, there's always something about stand-up, unless you're literally one of the goats, that just feels so forced. And I don't know how to, like, I don't know how to do it in a way that doesn't sound forced, really. Poetry night? Slam poetry? Alright, guys. Did you guys, anybody see the movie Megan? Hey, look at this pen. And then she reaches behind her neck, boop, powers her off. Sorry, spoilers. It's not really that big of a spoiler. That movie was like, it plays out exactly how you think it's going to play out. There's no twist or, like, you know what I mean? Dude, what the hell? Sorry. It's not really like end of movie. It's just like something that happens. Okay. Let's begin. All right? I need two things. I'm going to write them on the screen. I need an animal. And I need an activity. By the way, before we get into this, I just want to say I am looking at a new... Wait. Slow down with the recommendations. Slow down. Hang on. I see them, though. Weevil, shark, and platypus are all really good. I don't think I've... Okay, here's the only thing I'll say. Here's the only thing. I've already drawn a shark. I think we've drawn sharks a few times. Never drawn a weevil. That would be fun. And I've actually never drawn a platypus on stream, so that's a possibility. Okay, wait. Don't suggest anything yet. I'm going to tell you when to suggest, okay? I'm thinking about getting a new computer. I've gotten a lot of really good recommendations. One of my close friends called me yesterday and also gave me some very good advice on buying a new laptop. What I'd really like to do, because this one can hardly handle this. This is basically my computer working at its max capacity, which is really saying something. I need a new computer, and once I do that, I think what I'm gonna try, what I really want to do to help this stream grow and get more people and more faces on in here and just more fun, like more variety, is I want to get some of my artist friends that I've met online to draw with me. I know I'm kind of stealing the idea a little bit because a lot of other artists do this. Shout out Lord Spew. I don't know if any of you guys follow him. Super funny. Like, I can hear your PC fans struggling right now. Let me adjust my mic slightly. It's definitely that. Lord Spew is super funny. He's done a lot of he's an artist. He streams, and he also does a lot of stuff with Gumshoe, who's like a regular friend of the stream also, and an incredible artist. And they do stuff where they're drawing together like on the same canvas, which I just think is fun. I think that's an amazing idea, and I'd really love to lean into it because this is unusual, right? Me drawing and with a community, you guys, right? Like, drawing is, unfortunately, not always, but it's inherently solitary work. It's a little bit lonely, and it's quiet, but I want to show... Like, I think a great way to get people engaged, because some people don't like that. Some people like the idea of like being with like friends and stuff. I used to love growing up playing drawing games like with my friends, and there's some stuff that I know that my dad taught me, like games, like fun, like no rules, no winning, no losing, but just drawing together and like finding, you know, the end product basically, like sharing what you drew at the end. And so I think like doing that with some of these people who I've met online who are really funny and talented, like, would just be a great way to show that like we've lost a little bit of a sense of a community as artists, I think, which is unfortunate because it does exist on social media, but not the way that it used to. You know, like there used to be a time, if anybody read like Patti Smith's book, like there was a time where like Bob Dylan and freaking Salvador Dali and like Patti Smith and I don't know, like Jimi Hendrix were all like living in the same building and would just like hang out and smoke weed and talk about art together. You know what I mean? Like that just like doesn't really exist, unfortunately, anymore. Just like a commune of artists basically. So I would love to just have a little taste of that, of like us working together or talking art or talking creatively, and that'd be really fun. Have you considered updating the stream title to attract more passersby? It probably doesn't matter because discoverability is trash on Twitch, but just checking if it's on purpose or you're just booming. Could you clarify? What do you mean by that? What is my stream title right now? What is my stream title? That sounds like good advice, but I'm kind of a boomer, so explain it to me like I'm an old person. Your stream title has always just been Beetle Moses. Oh, I see that right here on my OBS. What should I call it? That's good advice. I had not thought of it, really. Good advice. Okay, I will definitely think about that. Thank you, Regular Dragon. We'll brainstorm that together. Maybe several heads are better than one. Draw class with Beetle Moses. Yeah, definitely put art class in there. Drawing with friends. Can you guys see it update in real time if I change it? Let's see. How's that? It updates in real time? Did you see? Did it up? Oh, here, let me click done. Did that do it? Drawing class with Beetle Moses. There we go. I can't see through OBS where it's framed. It's not distracting or anything. It looks good. Drawing along with viewers join in. Maybe I'll make the go live notification a little bit different. Okay, that was really helpful advice. You know what? This is why I freaking love you guys. Like, this is stuff that I never would have even like I just have no idea what I'm doing. All right, I'm good with the drawing thing and the writing jokes thing, and everything else I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. All right, so I appreciate it. Yeah, okay, that was good advice. Thank you. Okay, now let's get to the business. All right, I've already been talking for straight up literally an hour. Okay, so Squarebox, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yo, Beetle Moses, do you have plans on writing for TV? Well, I don't know when this freaking writer's strike is going to end, but I mean, kind of where I'm at right now. Sorry, I know we were about to get started, but just to answer that question, kind of where I'm at right now is I would just absolutely love any semblance of breaking into an industry. The comic industry, TV, writing, filmmaking, storyboarding, like any industry. You guys know right now I'm pretty much as independent as it gets. All of my money, so to speak, which isn't much, but it's like I'm a small business and I'm the sole owner of my small business. So I do everything. When you order prints from me, they're coming from me. You know, I'm putting them in these envelopes, and I'm putting a sticker in there, which, by the way, if you guys were wondering, I still have 10 of these stickers left, the Ted Kaczynski Funko Pop stickers. These are being included for free as a bonus, as an add-in to print orders. So if you order a print, basically today, you'll get one of these. All right? And I don't know when I'm going to re-up on them, if ever. So limited edition sticker for free. So anyway, I do love the you can do a Kickstarter with Skybound. I don't know what that is. Like Mr. Lovenstein and Extra Fabulous. Maybe you should Skybound are one of those that published Invincible. That's cool. I mean, I do love I love being like I do think in some regard, even though, how can I phrase this properly? I love other people. I'm very social. I don't have I said this on a recent podcast and I got booed by YOLO Swag and House of Decline. So sorry, bear with me, but like I don't have social anxiety. Like I think a lot of my contemporaries do, which is fine. It's okay, but it's like I have no problem talking or to other people, or I love talking to other people. I love other people. I love making new friends, and I don't really struggle with it. Sorry guys, but I will say where it ends is that I'm not great at how do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie in it. I don't really work well with others. I'm kind of learning how to do that because I do have a partnership with YOLO Swag Studios. We do cold cuts, as a lot of you guys know. I have a Patreon, which, by the way, if you wanted to support me that way, patreon.com/coldcuts. But we also do the podcast and the YouTube channel, and we're working on animations and writing together and stuff like that. And that has been a learning curve for me because I love to be in control of my own business, and having another partner, even though I love YOLO Swag, he's like my boyfriend basically, I love working with him, and I think he's really funny, but it's a bit of a learning curve because I sometimes get a little bit just like, I want to do these things a certain way in a certain time frame, and I have a certain pace that I like to work at, and if my partner or partners are not working at that same pace, it's challenging for me. So I love being the sole proprietor of Beetle Moses, but it is a little scary and tiring sometimes to not have a steady paycheck coming in. You know what I mean? It's really reliant on me not just putting out material, but putting out material that has reach. Because if I don't get like one nice viral comic a week, basically, then it feels like I don't know what to make into a print. I don't know how to market my stream, or you know what I mean. It's like it's hard not to get into that cycle. I would chill out a bit if I like felt like I had a little bit of consistency, and I was being paid by by an employer. Right now I don't have that. Maybe the grass is always greener. Maybe one day that will happen and I'll look back on this time and be like, I never should have left. But, that's where I'm working towards. So to answer your question, Martin, yeah, I would love to write for TV, because I just I'm so eager for the next thing. It's always how I feel. I always am working because I'm I gotta get to the next thing. And then even when I'm writing for TV, I won't even feel like I've made it. I'm gonna be like, I gotta get to that next thing. It's probably a little bit toxic, but it's just, yeah, I would love to have something new. The person I watch online is a functional person. Impossible. You can make a tissue dance if you're a tissue cowboy and shoot at their feet. That's good too. Okay, let's start drawing. Guys, I need an animal. Let me get some shout outs. Animal. Maybe you'll get more traction if you wear a Bob Ross wig. It's actually a good idea. In the past, the gimmicky... Sorry about drinking on water on camera. The gimmicky streams that I've done in the past have actually been somewhat successful. Like when I wore the pink wig. Crab, otter, platypus, cat, platypus seconded, platypus thirded by a first-time chatter, lemur, penis snake, a real animal. Is that real? Platypus is getting definitely... platypus is getting a lot of... how do I make a poll? Gonna do about 2 platypuses. Love your work. Thank you, Carolina. I really like your name, actually. Carolina SDFJKL. Joining the platypus army. Wow. Platypus army 4th. Okay, a lot of platypuses. All right. I cannot ignore the will of the people. All right. We're going to draw a friggin' platypus. All right. I'm going to just make a little placeholder. Okay. Okay. Next. Thank you for the suggestions for the platypus. Next. I need an activity. Being a spy, that already exists. Something that's not already an existing property. This is already going to be really vaguely Perry the Platypus feeling, because that's the only famous platypus. Boogie. Remembering the 21st night of September. Picnic. Boogie dancing. That's fun. Piloting a helicopter. That might be a little bit out of the scope of my teaching ability more than anything. News reporter. That's funny. Playing pool. Engaging in ritualistic cannibalism. Sitting. Kind of simple. Oh, got a hedge cat. Remembering do you remember? Remembering the 21st night of September and boogie dancing are actually somewhat similar. Like making waffles, doing laundry. I kind of like disco platypus. Do we like that? They're kind of in the same vein. Glowing under a UV light. Platypus blacksmith. Hitting the famous dance, the nene. I could do that. Platypus nene. Hitting the gritty. Making wine. You know what? It actually would be kind of funny to draw him hitting the nene. Because I know how to I know how to draw that. Or I know how to show you guys how to draw that. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna draw a platypus hitting the nene. These are the two reference materials that I'm gonna pull up right now for us. Okay, it's gonna be quite simple, really. What is it? What is this? Cat hits the whip. Please do not. Please, Natty, I am trusting you with this link. Okay? This is the only link I'm clicking this stream, so nobody else send me any links. This is going to be loading at a fucking snail's pace.
Oh, cute cat. It would be quite shocking if that cat hit the whip. No, but a cat could never do that. Oh, cute cat. It would be quite shocking if that cat hit the whip. No, but a cat could never do that.
Wow, he really hits
cute
it.
cat.
Okay, that's good.
It would be quite shocking if that cat hit the whip.
Okay, let me...
No, but a cat could never do that.
Platypus.
Oh, cute cat.
Sorry, I gotta get rid of the Rothschild's jewel beetle. Okay, so they have little flippies. Pro streamer tip. Yeah, I don't know why it automatically opens in the monitor here. Okay, platypus. That's a funny picture. I like him in the water here. Okay. Save image as. What's going on with his face? Why does he look like that? Platypus. Platypus. Put it on the desktop. Save. And then, Nene Baby. 12 signs you were neglected as a child. Thank you, Bing. I actually got pretty close to drawing the Nene Baby with just off the top of the dome. Oh my god, this image. This is an insane image. Nene Baby. Oh, what a cute cat. I don't believe he will hit the whip. That seems impossible. I got pretty close to the Nene Baby. His leg's a little messed up here, but... Okay. New. Alright, guys. You guys who are watching, draw along with me. We're going to make this really, really simple. I'm going to show you guys... step by step how I would draw this. Now, I'm actually even kind of cheat coding it. Well, no, I'll do it pretty much exactly how I would. I'll show you. Okay. Look, I got all these freaking CSP. Okay, Nene Baby. Smaller. And file. Import. Where's the platypus? I did not see that on the desktop, even though I believe I did. Where's the freaking platypus? Where did it go? I hate when my computer does this. Did I not? Platypus. Working on it. Man, what is going on here? Where's the... Alright, I know how to draw a platypus. You guys know too. So I'm going to show you guys. I don't know how to pick this up. Streamer Beetle needs a save artwork channel point redeem. It's for real. Alright. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the fuck is going on? No! No, it's not responding. This goofy ass computer. Ending Clip Studio Paint. You guys still with me? I am sorry. Alright, this is easy enough. Is this not a sign that I need to get a new freaking laptop already? Or a desktop, rather. This is embarrassing. Come on now. Okay. Oh! Oh, Yowlitz! Yowlitz gifted... Oh my god, dude. Yowlitz gifted a tier 1 sub. Holy crap. To 5 people. To C... Hang on. Okay. To... What the hell? Nat Lang. Pope Alexander IV. Mr. Universe Squid. And C. Saltulong. Wow. I usually wait till the end of the stream, but I have to run. I have a good stream. Yeah, Yowlitz, man. You are the freaking GOAT. You've contributed 72, gifted 72 subs to the stream. It is like out of freaking control. Love you, dog. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in here, man. All right. Let's draw this real quick. I think that this is going to be an easy one to draw anyway. Thank you, Yowlitz. That's awesome. Dude, amazing. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to try importing. Just the Nene, baby. Is Nat Lang watching right now? Because she was just gifted a sub. And usually it goes to people who are watching right now, although I have not heard anything. So I wonder if she just got sniped for lurking. Alright, easy enough. This is going to be great for drawing a platypus, honestly. It's like the perfect physique. Okay. Easy. Ready? They're trying to everything they can to make people move to Windows 11, even though nobody wants to. What is that? Wait, I didn't see that. Everyone loves. Did you hear that MS Paint is getting layers and transparency? I actually did hear that, which is pretty outrageous. That it's like literally taken them this long to do it, but that is pretty epic. Okay, so guys, you guys who are drawing at home, if you have a pencil, or if you'd like to do this really lightly in pen, this is, as you probably know already, how I draw my people. Is I always draw a skeleton, sort of stick figure, all right, to outline where everything's going before I draw it. So here's the head. The shoulders are actually somewhat like under the head. Body has a slight curve to it. Hips. So remember that the shoulders and hips are going to be lines that are vaguely parallel to each other. And they're one of the most important parts of the skeleton. So when you're drawing out, when you're plotting out your figure, you never want to draw a skeleton like that. You always want to give them the extra joints, because this is actually how people are built. And then you can draw everything on top. You add the meat. which is kind of a gross way of putting it, but very important. I always do this, especially like when I'm drawing something, even when I'm using a reference, especially when I'm using a reference. I always draw, even when I was drawing the cool squirrel this morning, even though the shape of the body isn't even really remotely human, I still drew the skeleton so that I knew where everything was going when I was drawing the meat and potatoes. Okay? So anyway, head, shoulders, torso. The hip is just vaguely in line with the... Actually, it looks almost perfectly parallel to the shoulders. And then, leg coming out, down, foot. Okay, this one. And so it's just, I drew like a little lightning bolt. But notice how it's like, it's short here. It's because of the perspective. Vaguely similar shape on this side, okay? Slight diagonal on this, on the thigh, femur, and then this bit, the shin, straight down, and then little foot. This arm, easy enough. It's just a straight line, and you can even make a little fist. And this one, it's a little complicated because of the perspective, but just take your time with it. Look how that goes. Let's see, I can also trace it just like that, right? We got the arm going up, diagonal, then straight up, and then the hand. So I'm going to just copy that. Diagonal, straight up, and the hand. Now, what I like to do is bring the transparency, or the opacity rather, way down so it's faint, and then I can make a new layer. And if you're drawing at home, like what I would do typically in my book here, is sketch over my drawing, and then this all comes off when I erase my pencil. Right, when I erase the pencil and I've done everything with ink, this all goes, and all that's left is the drawing, the actual image. So now on my new layer, or in pen, or in pencil, if you'd like to draw this part in pencil too, you can. Now I'm going to draw my platypus. So we're going to start with the beak, all right, which is a duckbill, as you guys know, I'm sure. And the duckbill, also remember, actually, you know what, we could start with the, let's start with the beak. Think about the angle. This is one other thing that I will actually include in the skeleton for you guys. The eyes, I'm even cheating them up. In the actual drawing, the eyes are, in the actual image, the eyes are like here. I'm actually going to cheat them up slightly, so his face and the bill is like a little bit more visible. But notice how they're on the lower half of the face, right? If we were looking at him straight on, the eyes would probably be like here. But they're slightly lower, all right? Now I'm going to draw the beak. So it's a bell shape, the top of the beak. Nice flowing shape like that. And it's at an angle. Got that? Bell shape. I like to add two little dots. That's where his little nostrils are. I'm going to zoom in, actually, make this a bit more visible. And then for the beak, we want this to flow. Okay, notice how like when I get here, I'm just a soft curve, and I'm even softly curving. I like to do this in general with a lot of different style of drawings, when a straight line is needed, you can add a little bit more freaking ratitude by just giving it a slight curve. Slight. See that? Both of these could have been straight lines, but give it a little bit of, it just gives it more life. And living things don't have straight lines, you know what I mean? It's always rounded or curved or somewhere, you know what I mean? So give it that. Curved again. And bring it right there. And actually, this part of the bell, I'm going to make his little cheek poking out there. Just because of the angle. See how I did that? Looking at a very loose sort of W shape. Very loose W. To connect. And at the bottom, I'm mirroring. I'm going to cheat it by making it a little bit thicker, but I'm mirroring the shape of the top. There you go. That's the bottom of the bell. Oh, ad alert. You guys watching an ad right now, or just had to drink some water while that ad's going? The mouth looks like a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. If you want, this is not necessary. If you haven't drawn it or if you want to fix it, you can do that to make it look less. Yeah, that's even. I added the bottom part, and now I have a pelican. Well, the good news is that fortunately, the duckbill is only one piece of indicating that it's a platypus, so I wouldn't worry about it. You could draw it this way, bring the bell all the way to the bottom, but I actually think there's something kind of goofy about just like that. Now, I'm just making 2 dots for his eyes. I kind of like just that blank expression, but you could feel free to get creative here if you want to draw a different kind of eye. I'm going to draw at the top. I'm giving him a little tuft of hair. The only reason I'm drawing that first is because I don't want to be interrupted as I'm drawing the slope of his head and neck. So I just gave him this little, and for you guys who struggle with this type of shape, it's just a zigzag, like you're drawing an M with an extra something there. So like a little crown, but just each line is slightly curved. So it turns into more of a shark fin, shark fin, shark fin. Okay, that's what I put right there. Really little. The only reason I add this also is because one of the differences between a platypus and indicating that it's a platypus and not a duck per se is that it has fur and not feathers. So this would be a nice little although this could be feathers, but it gives a little bit more. There's like hints that you can drop in your drawing when you're cartooning that suggest the texture of an item. If you guys look at the Cool Squirrel, for example, I made a conscious choice in there to add not much, but like on his tail I added something like this, like a little extra tuft of fur, because something like that, like really small, is just a quick indication that it's fur to the readers. Could be feathers. Donald Duck, and that's true. Donald Duck has that too in his nephews. But if they didn't have it, I think it would just give them less like character. It doesn't, and it also doesn't indicate, they have feathers or fur or what have you, rather than them just being smooth. You know what I mean? I think the smoothness is not as like, it's a little too open-ended. Sometimes. There's no hard rule. It's just trying to explain why I did it. Okay, ready? And now we're going to make this sloping down. Probably stop around here. And even though I drew the head as a circle in the skeleton, the platypus is not exactly, it doesn't have much of a distinction between its head and its neck. So I'm going to try to keep that theme when I'm drawing this one, in that I'm not really cutting in where the chin, so to speak, would be. I'm going to just keep him really tubby and not have much of an indication of where his head meets his body, basically. Let's look back at the Nene baby. That's pretty easy. Now, we like to draw things, I like to draw things foremost to backmost. So, hand, arm, it's going to go hand, forearm, bicep, then shoulder. Even though it would feel like it makes more sense to work from where we're at right now and build out, it's going to be easier for us, and it's going to look slightly better, I think, if we start with the hand and work our way to connect it. So let's do that. I'm going to give him 4 fingers, and remember, it's a flipper. So bear with me here. We're going long, skinny fingers. Like that. Long, skinny fingers. It's just zig, zag, zig, zag. And then slight curved lines to give them that webbing. How do you guys feel with that? Everybody okay so far? I know sometimes the chat goes a little quiet, so I just want to make sure everybody's good. Yes, sir? Just tuned in. Holy shit, is he hitting the nene? Yes. He's hitting the nene. Ready? And actually, to continue the sort of chubbiness, rather than give him these really distinct elbow lines and stuff, I'm actually just going to keep him really chunky, like loosely follow the skeleton. See that? And what I'm going to do here is actually add a little bump. Just his little shoulder. Okay. I don't want to move too quickly. Are we all good? How are we feeling? Yes? Anybody else but Big Yoshi has been telling me that they're okay, but I don't know if everybody else is totally drowning out there. Perfectly times my lunch break so I can participate, and this is so fun. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you're in here. Awesome. I hope you're still eating, though. It's important to eat on your lunch break, all right? Don't skip lunch. You should also be munching. All right, we're going to continue here. I'm going to just... don't want to get too out of pocket, okay? Sorry, you're doing okay. Okay, no, don't need to apologize. You're all right. All right, I know I said we're going foremost, so you guys have the basic plot of where this is going. Okay, it feels far away, but I'll explain why. But I'm going to start with this leg now, even though it's the farthest from what we've drawn, basically, because this leg's going to be front. I want him to have a big belly tucking here, and the belly needs to come before this leg and this arm because it's kind of, they're both going to be coming out from behind there. So we need to start with this leg. But it's easy. Let's start with the knee. So again, I'm going to keep it round over and smaller at the bottom. I'm rounding this corner, but remember, smaller at the bottom, just like that. And the foot follows the exact logic of the hand. It's this flipper. So we're going to draw that. It's just in a different direction. Zig, zag, zig, zag. Just to there. And once you got that, connect the flippies. Rotate the plomby. If you draw separated, it's also super easy to fix proportions by eye with the lasso tool, digital. That's true. That's true. There are a lot of benefits to doing things digitally, and actually, as I'm like progressing, even with my comics, even though I draw, a lot of you guys already know this, but some of you guys, for you guys who don't know this, I draw everything in my book here. So, like for example, this is the I Wish I Was Special. You're so fucking special. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. But I'm ugly. So I draw everything in my book here. Thank you for the great stream, Beatles Harris. I will be back when you go next time. Thank you for dropping in. Curb verified. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. I'm glad you had a good time. But you'll notice even with stuff like this, like I leave a lot of it. If you look at the final product, there's a lot that I did digitally. And honestly, as I'm like progressing farther along in my... As I'm progressing farther along with the Beetle Moses thing, I'm getting more like used to keeping things minimal in ink, just to achieve like the effect that that I love and that I'm comfortable with, and also because I really like the medium. But that if there's something that feels like a little bit out of my comfort zone, I do it digitally because it gives me a couple different redos. You get redos digitally that you just don't get when you're drawing regular, and that's okay. Sometimes, like, you know, a lot of the greats, like I'll tell you right now that frickin' Frank Miller, when he was drawing Sin City, I don't think an ounce of that was digital. I think it was all brush pen, you know, and ink. So, but you know, it's like I'm at a point where I'm like, well, I just want things to look the way that I picture them in my head. But sometimes I bite off a bit more than I can chew, and I need to know that I have a second go at it if I need to. You know what I mean? And even that the Gleep comic, when I drew that one, I was like, you know, I needed to... I did it once in a certain way that I didn't love, and then I went back over it and did it another way. It's like, you got to have that. Personally, I love having that option. All right, we're going to draw this big belly. So, I'm actually tucking it slightly... See that? Slightly behind here, intersecting. Round. That's not big enough. Round belly to about here. And I try to picture putting this in a place where it ends, this like C shape. I want it to end where there's like a pretty clear connection that would be here between where the neck and the chest is. Just for this particular drawing because he's sort of amorphous. Yo, shout out Shambe, dude. Celebrity sighting. So many cartoonists of old took unlimited redos in ink too. They just taped a cutout. That's true. Taped a cutout white paper on the drawing. Comics are so forgiving, it rules. Nothing wrong with Command Z. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I remember seeing some of the raw drawings of Bill Watterson when he was doing when he was doing Calvin and Hobbes, I was looking at some of those like his sketchbook drawings or like the original drawings before they were put into print, and it's like, dude, he was going ham. The dude was spending thousands of dollars on whiteout, which is like, I mean, dude, it makes sense. You go over something, he has some really intense drawings that just like, you mess something up or you don't like the placement of something, you got to go over and do it again. But that's so many extra steps, you know what I mean, to do it manually. When we have the technology, it's totally fine, and you can achieve the same effect digitally. Not always. It takes, I think, a certain level of skill to draw something digital and make it look analog, you know what I mean? But it's possible. Do you use a weighted line drag, or are you just that good? No, I'm being totally honest, I don't even know what that is. No, I'm just drawing. Just drawing like regular. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I really only have been using this program, Clip Studio, and the tablet that I have here. I'm like only using it for these streams. Like I have Procreate on my little iPad here that I use to color things digitally, but everything else I'm just drawing like in pen. I have my little Micron pen, which I actually have to buy new ones today because this is my last one, and it's like starting to do that thing that I don't like, where it's like a little bit ground down to the nub. You guys are not gonna be able to see this, but like it's just too, like, I can tell by looking at it closely. It ain't good anymore. All right. This leg is the only one that's going to be slightly different because it actually is going to have some layers to it. I'm going to actually do the straight line right here. And then I'm going to give him the fat, chubby, round leg over there. So that knee is going around. And this bit under the underside of his knee, I'm going to make a little intersecting line just to give it that extra dimension that this is foremost, this is back. Feels like there's something cursed about this drawing for some reason. Why does he look like that? What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Dude, that song was stuck in my head for so freaking long. After I drew that comic, it's completely my fault. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one also tucked behind the shin. Oh, my dog's going crazy again. More zigzags for the toes and then connecting lines. What the fuck is going on? I think somebody dropped off the package. Give me a second. Hey. Stop. I mean, the good news is that no one could break into my house in the middle of the night because these two dogs freaking... Well, first of all, we're watching my girlfriend's mom's dog, but the other dog, they are just yappy as hell. I gotta go out there and just be like, hey, shut up. It was literally UPS. Alright. Now, we're going to just draw a slight curve, a really light C shape around the leg. Like that. Actually, that's too fat. That's better. Give him kind of like an egg shape. Mayor and vice mayor of Yappersville. Seriously. Okay. Now, 4, the hand. This is another, all right, this is a little bit of a strange position for them to be in, but it actually makes it easier for us, okay? So finish up what you're doing with here, because drawing a fisted hand can actually feel a little bit more daunting than drawing an open hand, because you want it to look right. But this is it's actually very easy, and I'm going to show you the cheat code right now, okay? Here's the cheat code. You're going to draw a straight line, okay? And then we're going to make a curving line, which comes out to here. And give it 3 more bumps. Sorry, actually, yeah, only 2 more bumps because we've given him 4 fingers. Bump, bump. Okay, C. So we got a straight line. In the middle, C, bump, bump. Now, come back to this part, the C here, and we're actually going to intersect here and make another C. Can you see where this is going? We just drew the thumb, which is connecting to the index finger. This is just the palm, an indication of the palm. And now 2 little bumps. All we got to do now is draw a straight line connecting to the back of the hand, which means all we got to do now is connect the hand to the rest of the body with the arm. So we're just going to draw, I'm going to draw a straight line. Remember, I'm trying to keep it skinnier towards the wrist. This one I happen to tuck behind his little platypus titty right here. And then don't forget there's a slight shoulder here, so I'm going to give him that little shoulder. And then straight line. That's actually, he looks a little too beefy. A little thinner. That's it. Which means I'm going to erase the skeleton. Look at that. Picture perfect. You know what we could do that we didn't do? I'm going to do this after the fact, but you could also just do this with coloring, but I think it's going to make it easier because I'm going to bucket fill because I'm a little baby. I'm actually going to make these little zigzags indicating that his hands and feet do not have fur on them. That one I'm actually going to make slightly rounded because I think it's going to make it easier to draw this way. And then obviously, obviously we're missing one final thing, which is the tail, which is very easy. I'm just going to draw from back here, sort of intersecting where his knee or his thigh meets his body here. I'm going to draw a big J shape and just bring it back around. And I'm going to give it these stripes. Cross hatch it for that beaver tail effect. Why isn't you guys still here? I don't know why it said connecting to chat for a second. You guys still there? You hear me? Need a tail. Loud and clear? Okay, good. Always Pierre. Okay, good. I just had like this weird thing that was like connecting to chat, and I'm like, did I just lose this whole freaking thing? I need a new computer. Money's a little tight right now. I don't know if I'm gonna get one this month, but it's really, really time. All right. Once you're good here, time to color him in. I'm gonna give him this nice little brown color. And then he's got kind of, actually, we can even sort of cheat this. I'm going to give this one kind of like a purpley blue. For his non-fur covered parts. This turned out much better than I expected. I actually think this came out nice. And then, let's see, I'm going to pick a little sort of reddish brown webbing. Just a different, whoops, just a slightly different color. Look at that. That looks great. You guys might notice I added a little white like shine to his eye, which I usually try to do if somebody has beady eyes or black eyes. Like if I'm drawing the bug characters and their eyes are just pure black, I'll still add a little shine to it just to give it that extra. It makes them look a little bit more like lively and like approachable. You know what I mean? Less like, gives them just a little bit more emotion. Sometimes it's funny to draw eyes just like plain black dots because they're really beady and it makes it look funny. You know, you don't have to add this, but in this case, eh. Okay, and then I'm going to use a darker brown color here, but you can also, if you wanted to, just do this in black by like cross hatching. I'm going to just add a little bit of shading around his like underside. Give him a bit more dimension. Look at that. And then maybe like a dark gray. He's hitting it. He is freaking hitting that shit. Oh, I missed the platypus drawing. It's alright. I did end up recording this one, which means it's all going to go on the VOD. What was he hitting again? I forgot the name of the dance. The nene? Hitting the nene. Let's see. Let's go. Oops. Can't see that. Hang on a sec. Let's do this. Whoops. Oh, how did this happen last time? Oh, I'm erasing. That's why. There it is. Yo! He's hitting that. There you go. He is hitting that shit, dude. Alright, that was really fun, guys. Feel free to keep watching if you need to. If you're still working on your drawing, that's totally okay. I'm gonna plug for you guys watching right now. If you just joined, you didn't catch me saying this at the beginning. There is a free Discord for you to join. That is the Discord for this art class called Beetle, Moses, and Friends. It's totally free. And everybody's going to be sharing their drawings in there after the class. So if you want to see everybody else's work and you want to share your own work, or just one or the other, you can join that Discord. If somebody wants to drop the link, you can just type !Discord, and Nightbot will drop an invite link for you, which will never expire. You can hop in there. We have like 200 people in there. There's people of all different at all different stages of their artistic career. So if you need some advice, or you just want to share, or you want to just look at the spectacle of everybody else, it's a great community. So I'd love to have you over there, and that's where I'm going to be looking at all of your drawings afterwards too. Harris says, also, to sending your drawing, people will surely react to your paintings with some nice emotes so you can get that internet points induced dopamine rush. Would recommend. It's true. It is very active. It's really friendly. It's really supportive. Everyone there is really cool. We honestly have a few, not to make this a selling point, but there's a few people in there that are like sort of like e-celeb artists. You know what I mean? There's some people in there with like big followings on there. So if you want them to see your work too, they're in there, and I'm in there. And then what else? So yeah, love to see you over there. If you just joined late or you couldn't catch the whole thing, this is going to be a VOD on my YouTube channel. Let me just type that. I think Nightbot has been dropping that too, but I'm just Beetle Moses on YouTube as well. Here's a link. I think it's also in my bio right here. If you want to check out the old classes, I think we're almost at our 50th stream, which is kind of crazy. On one hand, it feels like not that many, but on the other hand, I'm like, damn, I can't believe that it's been 50. Almost at, I think this is like 48, so we're really close. Let me think. What else was I going to say? So yeah, so you can catch all of them over there, and then you can also watch the rest of this episode if you couldn't see all of it. The other thing that I, of course, have to plug is the Patreon. If you would like to support me, which would be fantastic because it helps me do this full time and it helps me just move things along. I can put money back into my business. I cannot overestimate how much bang for your buck you get from this Patreon. You get invited to the Cold Cuts Discord. You get things in the mail. You get access to almost like 70 bonus episodes of the Cold Cuts podcast. You get early access to Beetle Moses comics, early access to Yellow Swag Studios comics. I mean, I'm forgetting things. You get a ton of stuff. So, and it's cheap. It's very cheap to join. So if you wanted to come in there and be part of that community, I'd love to have you over there. I'm like annoyingly active in that group chat too. It's basically like joining a group chat with like a bunch of really funny people with similar interests, honestly. So like, if you wanted to hop in there, I'd love to see you guys over there too. And it helps me. It helps me help you. What else can I tell you? I told you I still got 10 Kaczynski Funko Pop stickers left. These are being included just as a bonus add-in with print orders. I got 10 left, which means today or tomorrow they'll probably be gone. So if you want one of these iconic little drawings as a sticker, really high quality sticker, if you don't mind me saying, I got those for you too. And what else can I tell you? That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to go live again next week so we can do this again. I love having you guys, the Euro viewers on the stream, so I try to mix up some of the times that I do it, but usually the evening is easiest for me. But today, I was able to do it earlier. What else can I say? All right. I love you. I had a great time today. I'm really excited to see your drawings, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you later. Bye-bye, guys.